Marvel has officially wrapped up Phase 5. We're going into Phase 6 with the upcoming Fantastic Four, which is going to change the MCU forever, leading to Doomsday, of course. The whole point is that Phase 5 is officially wrapped up. We had 6 MCU movies with the release of the Thunderbolts that came out May 2nd. There's a lot of opinions based on these movies, and I'm going to give you my ranking from the worst to the best, with Endgame being the end of Phases 1 through 3 of that story. We're starting a new complete story with Phases 4 and 5. I mean, don't get me wrong, Phases 4 and 5 hasn't hit the same as the first 3, but at the end of the day, we're still ending a Marvel phase and entering a new one pretty soon. Thank you for clicking on this video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel a lot. And let's just get into ranking Phase 5. For our number 6 slot, it has to be the Marvels. I know there's a lot of hate from this film, but there's a lot of ups and downs. Majority downs, but there's still ups, so that counts. There's not very memorable moments with this movie. I did watch it one time in theaters, one time on Disney Plus. Let's start off with the pros. Miss Marvel, Iman Vellani played an incredible job in the series Miss Marvel and the Marvels, because the movie does shine on her a little bit, as in Monica Rambeau as well, which I'll get to that in a little bit. But highlighting Miss Marvel as like this super fan of Captain Marvel turning into this superhero. It was pretty fun seeing her on screen, and I'm excited to see what they do with her character in the future. Monica Rambeau, great in WandaVision, great in this movie as well. But when it comes to like the comedy, it's a hit or miss. Some jokes can go past you, and then some actually do hit, like Nick Fury. But then when it comes to the actual movie, it's just a whole mess. First 30 minutes were just all over the place. You're seeing this character for like 2 seconds, then you're seeing this character for like 2 seconds, and you're not really having the stories line up. And the villain was very non-memorable, didn't really impact the storyline or the MCU. Yes, we got Beast at the end of the post-credit scene, but that's basically it. So I would just rank this movie at 2 out of 10. Leading on to my number 5 on the list, the one movie that I was excited for, it did me dirty. It really did me dirty. I'm talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantamania. When this movie first came out, when releasing the trailers, I was so excited for this movie. Kang the Conqueror coming in, going to be an absolute menace in this movie. Then we got MODOK. Jonathan Majors did an amazing job playing Kang. He was very serious. He was like the Conqueror. Felt very threatened by him. And then when you see later on throughout the movie, it's just so confusing at the end. And now this movie basically doesn't matter anymore, because Kang the Conqueror is no longer the main villain of the MCU due to some situations that happened in the real world. And since Marvel was heavily dedicated on making Kang the main villain of the MCU, and this movie being focused on Kang the Conqueror, I mean, there is some emotion at the end of the movie, but overall it's not like I'm gonna cry at the end of my seat. When you look at 5 years down the line of the MCU state, this movie is not gonna be one that I remember vividly. Don't get me wrong, it is better than the Marvels, because it did have some good funny bits, emotion, jam-packed action. Overall, this is probably like a 4 out of 10, and I just want to see Ant-Man 4 get his redemption. Paul Rudd absolutely plays phenomenal as Ant-Man. I would just love to see him in more movies as Ant-Man too. Then for our number 4 slot, we got the new Captain America: Brave New World. The movie released in theaters in February, and honestly, we had time to decompress and how good this movie really is. There's some flaws, of course. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Harrison Ford as Red Hulk? There's a lot of things put into play, the political side, the spy side. What I most enjoyed about this film is, of course, the main person that is going to play Captain America, Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie himself. He plays amazing as the Falcon. We've seen him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, getting his own TV series. Now we're actually finally getting the recognition he deserves, getting his own movie. There's some heavy emotional scenes, especially with Isaiah Bradley, which actually got me really intrigued. I love Isaiah Bradley's character, and also from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, this is like a continuation from it. And then the main villain of the whole movie was just really bad. They just missed the whole premise. The villain just didn't suit well for me. I don't know what it was. The face, I don't know. But some people were also complaining about this movie because of the reshoots, because yes, this movie did do a lot of reshoots. Some things didn't look like it should be there, and some things just decided to belong there just cause. I see where they were trying to go with the whole Brave New World aspect, and I get it. It's a good movie, but there's some flaws. This is my opinion, but I believe that Brave New World is an enjoyable film to watch regardless of their flaws. Looking at the other two movies such as Ant-Man and the Wasp and The Marvels, I think this one has a pretty good chance of being at number 4 securely. Now for our top 3, the podium, I'm going with Deadpool and Wolverine. With the cameos, with Channing Tatum's Gambit, as well as Blade coming in. And you can't forget my favorite cameo throughout this movie. I'm talking about Chris Evans' Fantastic Four Human Torch. With Deadpool movies come insane intros to the movie, and I believe this one was the best one yet. With Dancing Deadpool dancing to NSYNC's Bye Bye, I think was absolutely hilarious. As a Deadpool fan, with the fourth wall breaks, the Deadpool jokes, they were just absolutely funny, and I believe hit every single time. And you best believe I didn't forget about Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine again. I'm glad they didn't touch upon Logan, because Logan is a perfect film for him, and perfect film in general, to be honest. I did like how they teased probably future event that could happen in the MCU with the TVA scene. Why is Thor crying? Very impactful with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine with emotion. It's like a redemption story. You see Deadpool trying to redeem himself, trying to be meaning to the world. Then you see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, which is like a nobody and nobody cares about him, and he just wants to be redemption. I mean, it's not like Deadpool and Wolverine went too crazy with this crazy plot and these crazy scenarios. When it comes to the MCU, we expect these high quality movies, and this movie did high quality. I'm excited to see more of the future with Deadpool and what he has to offer. Once again, this is just my opinion, but I believe these next movies are better than Deadpool and Wolverine. Even though this is a great movie, there's just some things that could be better. But this scene right here, no, absolutely perfection. 10 out of 10. You best believe Wolverine does go crazy. Okay, I'll stop now, but moving on to our number 2 slot, the new movie that came out, I'm talking about Thunderbolts. When this movie first got announced, a lot of people were skeptical whether or not it was actually gonna be good. We're gonna get like another one of those Marvel films that just doesn't seem quite right. Spoilers ahead for Thunderbolts, but I believe that this movie was really good because this now introduced the setup for the new Avengers. Even though Taskmaster is not really in this movie, it would have been good if they were in the movie, but Ghost killed her. So the third act was a little bit wonky. It gave me a little bit of Multiverse of Madness vibe. The whole Yelena and Red Guardian aspect, I love that relationship completely, and this movie does relate to some mental health issues, and I think they highlighted that perfectly. The Void being an example of that. Looking at other characters such as Ghost, US Agent, you know, they did stress me out a couple times throughout this movie, but Bucky, super powerful. Not against Bob though, because he actually, you know, did some damage. But I'm glad he decided to be brave and started teaming up with the others. Once again, I gotta talk about Florence Pugh's character, Yelena, because she actually did very well in this role. She did great in Black Widow as well as Hawkeye, but when she said, "I lost my sister again, but forever this time," that broke me. She isn't the most powerful out of everyone in Thunderbolts, but she is pretty brave, so you gotta give her some credit. You best believe when it comes on digital, I'm gonna pay every single cent. Highly recommend watching it if you haven't watched Thunderbolts. But our final movie has to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. James Gunn does such an amazing job with these characters, especially now in this third movie, highlighting Rocket's past and now his character now. Just made it so strong relating to the first Guardians as well. Very emotional, especially the scenes between Rocket and Lila. And of course, we can't forget the first ever F-bomb in an MCU movie with Chris Pratt saying it. When it comes to trilogies, the Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely up on there, competing with Captain America's trilogy. And then when it comes to the music, the soundtrack, it just goes to that basic Guardians vibe that we all love. With everything being said about this movie, I think this is a perfect way to end a trilogy about a group of these characters. The first movie came out in 2014 and the last movie came out in 2023. So we basically had a decade of Guardians growing up with these characters. And it was just a good way to end of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. We're getting future of Star-Lord and other characters. But in my opinion, I believe that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the best movie of the MCU Phase 5. Let me know in the comments below, is my opinion valid? Do you have another movie that's on top lot better than Guardians 3. I could be wrong. This July, we're getting the start of Phase 6, and I can't believe we're getting near Doomsday already. One more year. So hopefully you're ready for that as well. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also comment your rankings of the MCU phases. Which one is your favorite? Hopefully you enjoyed this video. There is big stuff coming very soon to the channel, so stay tuned this summer. All the socials are linked in the bio if you want to check it out. And then hopefully you have a good one and take care. See you in the next one.